So, I mean, the Jake Paul fights, I don't even watch. I think they're dreadful, the nonsense. I mean, Canelo Crawford is, I think, the first real fight. Isn't that stupid? I mean, Jake Paul is twice the size. I mean, how do you make a match like that?
Boxing legend and Hall of Fame promoter Bob Arum isn't pulling any punches when it comes to the blockbuster Jake Paul versus Gervonta Tank Davis showdown. Arum has openly blasted the matchup, calling it reckless and insisting that the size difference turns it into more spectacle than sport. With the fight already dividing fans and analysts, Arum's fiery remarks have only added more fuel to an already raging debate.
Well, Netflix is always in play because they have so much money, but Netflix, I don't think, has shown any interest in doing boxing on a regular basis. They would rather spend a lot of money for what they believe to be a blockbuster event and show it that way. So, I mean, the Jake Paul fights, I don't even watch. I think they're dreadful, the nonsense. I mean, Canelo Crawford is, I think, the first real fight that they've had on Netflix, but it's clearly a big fight, and worldwide it's going to get a huge audience.
Before anyone else spoke up, it was Jake's older brother, Logan Paul, who sounded the alarm. In a fiery interview, Logan admitted this matchup could turn ugly fast if Tank brings his trademark lightning speed and sniper-like precision. Jake is walking into a storm, Logan warned, stressing that only a flawless, no-excuses training camp could keep his brother from becoming target practice. He painted Gervonta not just as a puncher, but as a predator. And for Jake to survive, Logan argued, he'll need to outwork everyone around him and sharpen every defensive instinct he has.
This is a dangerous one for Jake.
He needs to do it, though.
This is a dangerous fight for Jake. The kid has got balls the size of Manhattan.
8 miles.
Jake's a very heavy hitter. He's much bigger than Gervonta. Gervonta's technical expertise, his speed, his precision, the fact that he's a counter striker are dangerous facts that make me think that Jake's really got to lock in for this one.
Alongside his praise for Gervonta Tank Davis, Logan Paul made sure to back his brother, Jake. He reminded fans of the instant chaos that can erupt in any fight once a clean shot lands. That's the danger people forget, Logan stressed. While Tank's speed is undeniable, Logan argued that if he gets clipped by a naturally bigger, heavy-handed puncher like Jake, the entire night could change in an instant. Size matters when that punch lands, he cautioned, pointing to Jake's proven chin and raw power, and warning that Davis could be in serious trouble if his brother connects with a full-force shot.
On the contrary, if Gervonta feels a couple big Jake Paul shots because getting hit by a bigger guy has significance and holds a lot of weight in boxing, and if Jake is able to connect with Gervonta, it's going to be detrimental. It'll really hurt.
I've seen Jake eat punches.
Jake can take a shot.
So if he stands in there and then gets his shot,
Jake can take a shot.
Meanwhile, Gervonta Tank Davis isn't treating this as a sideshow. His camp is already in full swing, and the boxing world is buzzing with anticipation. Davis, a calm but ruthless champion, carries the kind of knockout power and killer instinct that has dismantled seasoned pros time and again. Across from him, Jake Paul continues building his career by silencing doubters, sharpening his skills, and taking on bigger challenges with every fight. This clash is far from a celebrity stunt. It's a collision between a proven world-class finisher and a relentless underdog determined to rewrite boxing's script.
Catch the rim, baby. Catch the rim, baby. Dance with this shit. Tank. Good one. There you go, Tank. There you go, Tank. Good one. Yeah.
With Davis now deep in training camp, the fight feels closer and more real. for boxing fans everywhere. The debate is heating up. Davis's supporters point to his experience and natural talent as a clear edge, while Jake's backers argue that his size, confidence, and iron will could flip the script and deliver a surprise. This back and forth has become its own battleground, a tense buildup of intrigue and anticipation, like a mousetrap ready to snap the moment the first bell rings.
Fancy my chances. I think Gervonta Davis actually beats him as well. He's one of the pound for pound best fighters in the world at lightweight, but it's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's like you got a guy of 5'5" boxing a guy of 6 foot plus. Cruiserweight, yeah, it's just all a little bit odd. I feel if they're going to do an exhibition, perhaps Jake should have picked someone more his size. Look, his last fight against Julio Chavez Jr. Was at cruiserweight. Chavez Jr. was a former world champion at middleweight himself, and that sort of made sense. And it was a good win for Jake Paul. You know, he come out there and he beats an ex-world champion. He gets a little bit of credibility, and you go, right, now you're heading in the right direction.
Boxing analyst Spencer Oliver of TalkSport weighed in, insisting that Gervonta Davis still has a real fighting chance against Jake Paul. He explained that Davis's style gives him the best opportunity to overcome the size gap, even with the weight difference stacked against him. Still, Oliver highlighted just how unusual this matchup is, reminding fans that fights are meant to be built around weight classes. Competitive, balanced matchups, he argued, are what preserve boxing's legitimacy, while spectacles like this, though entertaining, risk chipping away at the sport's true value. Shakur Stevenson has already delivered a cool, calculated prediction, and he's siding with Gervonta Tank Davis, but only on the scorecards. Stevenson explained that with Jake Paul's natural size, width, and weight, Tank scoring a knockout would be a steep challenge, even with his trademark explosiveness. Jake's just too big to get put to sleep, Stevenson said, admitting he struggles to picture a highlight reel finish against a much larger man. To him, the matchup lacks real fire, no rivalry, no bad blood, just an elite, smaller technician testing himself against a naturally bigger opponent. In Stevenson's eyes, it feels less like a clash of equals and more like an exhibition.
Good angle.
Still, Stevenson doesn't dismiss the wave of excitement building around the fight. Tank's decision to crank up his training intensity is a neon sign of focus and intent, proof that he refuses to take Jake lightly for even a second. For Paul, it's both a mark of respect and a stark reminder of the massive hill he's preparing to climb. Every leaked sparring clip, every grueling workout, every behind-the-scenes moment that surfaces on social media only fuels the spectacle further. Fans can feel it. This is no sideshow. It's a genuine collision that has captured the sport's imagination.
I've been very open to this idea and I've been very supportive of the idea, but their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. So what we're gonna do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're gonna spot us some pounds. It was very straightforward. When Logan fought Floyd, it was very straightforward. And that event, by the way, didn't bomb the way you guys think it bombed. They held the event on a Sunday. The biggest boxing fan in the world didn't even know where to find that event because it was a Sunday. I mean, I'm just sharing, like, the idea of Floyd versus Logan is not the disaster that the numbers tell you it was. Some idiot put a fight on Sunday. In the history of my life, there has never been a fight on a Sunday.
Making headlines today, veteran promoter Bob Arum didn't mince words when asked about the mega showdown between Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul. Arum blasted the fight as a complete waste of time.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list.
Never one to hold back, Chael Sonnen took a far more aggressive stance. To him, this fight is Tank Davis's chance to put the combat back in boxing. Sonnen argued it's an opportunity for Tank and his team to dish out punishment on Jake Paul, forcing him to experience firsthand just how brutal it is to compete at the sport's highest level.
And I'm only sharing for you. We're not holding this event for rankings or for titles or for lineage. This is a night of business. And I'm going to predict for you now. And we'll know. As soon as this video comes out, we'll know. I would be happy to be wrong. But as far as picking a business partner, when you choose a dum-dum, don't be surprised when he goes out and acts.
Sonnen framed the matchup as spectacle over sport, more business than belts or legacy. A money play dressed up as a super fight. He argued that Jake's size, youth, and relentless self-promotion give him a real edge once the bell rings. Looking ahead, it's just as important to spotlight Jake Paul's relentless tenacity. While Gervonta Davis grinds through camp, Jake has already launched into his own preparations with the urgency of a man stepping into uncharted territory. Big fights are nothing new for him, but this one is different. Behind the cameras, Jake Paul is locked in, cutting out distractions, sharpening discipline, and keeping his eyes fixed on the finish line. He knows the spotlight is blinding, critics are waiting for him to fall, while die-hard fans are daring to believe in an upset. But instead of folding under the pressure, Jake thrives in it. What would break another fighter has become his fuel. What was once public scrutiny has transformed into pure motivation. It's the same formula that carried him from viral videos to sold-out arenas. And now, he's betting it can propel him through the toughest challenge either man has ever. Feels like a true crossroads for Jake Paul. His chance to prove he's more than a headline and to showcase just how far he's come as a legitimate boxer. Every day in camp is treated like an exam, endless drills, mental resets, and a constant reminder of why he fights. For Jake, it's not just about power or stamina. His training is a statement, a broadcast of discipline, belief, and the unshakable conviction that he belongs inside those ropes, not just on a viral clip. For Gervonta Tank Davis, the stakes run even deeper. Beating Jake Paul isn't just about protecting his unbeaten record, it's about silencing every critic who ever labeled him hype and reaffirming what it truly means to be a champion. A win here wouldn't just add another number to his resume, it would carve a new chapter into his legend, strengthening the aura of dominance that has defined his entire career. Tank understands that every fight shapes a legacy, and this one carries unique weight. By dismantling Jake Paul, he sends a clear message. Boxing's highest level still belongs to the warriors who have lived and breathed it their whole lives. Calvin Ford, longtime trainer and mentor to Gervonta Tank Davis, didn't shy away from calling this matchup a risky fight. While he admits he often hears dismissive remarks about Jake Paul, Ford acknowledged that Paul has steadily earned his respect, not through talk, but through disciplined training and key victories that proved he belongs in the sport.
Jake Paul and Tank been going at it for years, and I got to worry about his safety, you know?
Absolutely. And how did this fight come about? Because I remember Jake was at the fight with him and Lamont, when Gervonta fought, and I thought it was next, right?
No, they was talking about this for years. You know,
Yeah.
Tank been going back and forth for so long, and people don't understand that, you know. And one thing I can say about Jake, he's good at what he do, and he's been doing it. That's why he's where he's at. And everybody keeps saying, to be honest, this is a risky fight. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen because I don't know all the logistics besides love, what weight class. There's a lot of stuff I don't know about yet.
In short, the upcoming clash between Jake Paul and Gervonta Tank Davis has the boxing world split right down the middle. Some argue it's bad for the sport, while others see it as pure entertainment and spectacle. But one thing both sides agree on, it's dangerous for both men. Jake comes in with natural size and steady improvements, while Tank brings elite speed, explosiveness, pinpoint accuracy, and proven knockout power. On November 14th, we'll find out whose game plan really holds up under the lights. So what about you? Who do you think will have their hand raised, Jake Paul or Gervonta Davis? The boxing community is buzzing with predictions, and we want to hear yours. Drop your pick in the comments and let us know who you're backing. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next big update in this blockbuster buildup.